Okay folks, a little bit of good news here. I started it up and I don't have it mounted on my board anymore. I'm getting ready to mount it down on it. I took it loose from the board because I guess it was I had it bolted to a 3-inch piece of channel, but we had the rat rod built and I wanted to get it out of the way. But I'm going to mount it back down on the board. But we started it up. If you notice, I've got this ate up a little bit where I could get to the wire, but I actually shorted a wire from here to our post and it threw spark, but it stayed running. So that is good news, very good news. So now I've got to be able to get it hooked up so I can pull this wire off while it's running and hopefully it'll stay running. So that's our next feed here, but so far so good. I added one more head gasket on the bottom side, and then I put another piece of shrink wrap all the way up and tried to tuck it up under the edge of the gaskets a little bit before I heated it. So hopefully that thing will arc off okay. I actually bent it a little bit inside of it to close up the gap a little bit. So we'll see if that's going to be enough to fire it here shortly. Show you more. Alright folks, I successfully done it. Running without a spark plug. I had this screwdriver between here and here, and I took these plastic pliers and I pulled that plug wire off and it stayed running. And of course I was trying to fidget for the camera there so I could show everyone, and I moved it too far and got the screwdriver off and it shut off. Luckily I hadn't shocked myself yet, but I'm going to get me some gloves on, or I might just go ahead and try to get me a wire wired up. It actually believe it or not, when you have both this and the plug hooked up, it actually runs a little better. So it may be I may be having a little bit too much fuel to it again, and that's just burning the fuel up. But I absolutely had it running without a spark plug. May not mean much, but it's sure gratifying to get it finally, and we know it can be done. So now we're going to do it a little bit more to make sure she's right. Then I'll take the head back off one more time, go TIG weld a piece in the bottom of it, and hopefully this thing will start and run on just this one, and we'll know here shortly if it will do it or not. But it's looking good so far. Hoping to have this thing done for Halloween, where I can do a video and sort of a zombie motor or something like that. But we're going to keep at it here. I know this is probably a long video, but you know, it's a lot of work, and you can imagine how much time I've actually got in it. So, but I'll keep you informed. Show you more later. Okay folks, we're still moving right along on it. Had it running without the spark plug. You can see it's putting quite a bit of oil on top of the piston, so I don't know how good the rings are in this thing, but probably not too good. But anyway, I went from 4 gaskets to 6 gaskets, and these are thin gaskets, but I'm still probably, well, I'm 3/16 maybe. I think we've got it figured out. What this gasket here, these two, the top and the bottom one, now I've left a little extra on to help isolate that where it won't spark off. It was running good, but you know, every once in a while it would give a little bit of trouble, like it was arcing off. So I think this should solve the problem. My only problem now is going to be making sure that gap is right, you know, when these head gaskets are down and in there, because you know, you can't adjust the gap. You can see my piece coming out close to the head, and all you can do really is just guess at it, and I think I've got it pretty close now. But we're going to get her bolted down and, you know, try it again. I don't know how many gaskets I've cut out so far, but, and you know, because I've ruined a couple of them, but I think this is going to do it. Then of course I'm going to have to take it back apart again to weld up the hole for the spark plug, if this works out okay. But we're going to give her a try and we'll see what happens. Alright folks, we're going to do a little test here, and See if we can run it without the spark plug wire on. Nothing else, I'll probably get shocked and give you something to laugh about. I think this thing's camera shy. Success! Champion of the world. Or at least on this 5 acres anyway.